video. So we're going to be talking about a lot of stuff in this video. As the title says, fallen angels, Satan, the devil, and the truth about the fallen angels. And straight away we're going to bring a scripture up, because I know that many people deny and ignore and basically deny that this ever happened. We're just going to bring up one scripture that proves that they rebelled against God. Because there's honestly people in Christianity that say, oh, that never happened. That's what they say. It says, Michael and his angels fight against the dragon Satan and his angels. It's in the basic Bible. It's just basic knowledge. As you can see here in Revelation, he is also called the devil or Satan. He is the one who has ruled the whole world. He was thrown down to the earth, and his angels were thrown down with him. So yes, that disproves once again these people denying that the angels ever didn't rebel. These people are liars and the false teachers. Anyone saying that the fallen angels didn't rebel against God is a liar, and they're completely ignoring the Bible and what it says. It's the truth. We're going to get into a lot of things. First, we're going to get into what the fallen angels done. Everybody knows. Says it in the Bible, and it says it in other books. Don't care if you don't believe in these books, because it's the truth. So this is what we have. I'm reading from the book of Enoch, and that's why I say I don't care if you believe in this book or not, because it's the truth. So we see that it goes into chapter 7. We're at chapter 6 on the first book of Enoch. This is what it says. And it came to pass, when the children of men had multiplied in those days, were born unto them beautiful and comely daughters. And the angels of the children of heaven, so it's not the Israelites like people want to claim, it is not servants of God, it is not any of that. It is the angels that came down on earth. It says what it says. Humans are not the sons of God. They're not the sons of God. And the angels, the children of heaven, saw and lusted after them, and said to one another, Come, let us choose us wives from among the children of men, and begat us. And it even says this in anyone that wants to deny the existence of the book of Enoch. Just give me a second, I want to check something. So yeah, anyone that wants to deny in any form of Christianity or any form of religion that the angels never rebelled, and there's no such thing as Nephilim, giants, or stuff like that, they want to say. And there was no satanic offspring or something like that. It even says it in the Bible. The King James version of the Bible, the one I own is 1611, that's the one that I own, the actual proper one. It says what they did. It says, and in those days were giants and Nephilim, hence why the earth was flooded. So anyone in Christianity that says none of this is true, stuff like that, straight up just denying what the Bible says, denying what it says. Angels are messengers from God. We've seen in the story of Lot with Sodom and Gomorrah, the angels can come down in the appearance of man. Nowhere in the Bible does it say that angels don't have reproductive organs. Nowhere does it say that, because you got people saying that, making these claims. Nowhere does it say that in the Bible that they don't have organs. Nowhere. That's just something that people have just made up. Because it's just truth. The Bible says it. That's why the earth was flooded, because the earth was so corrupt. And they created these satanic offsprings, and this is something that the churches won't teach you. They'll say that the entire Nephilim bloodline was wiped out. No, it wasn't. It doesn't say that even in the Bible either. The Nephilim bloodline, not all of them, this is what happened, and we'll get into it. The Book of Enoch and even the Bible explains it. This is why we got demons. We had demons in the New Testament, because that's where they came from, the Nephilim. We'll explain how they came into being. And you can just read your Bible as well. So, who was their leader, said unto them, I fear ye will not indeed agree to do this deed, and I alone shall have to pay the penalty of a great sin. And they all answered him and said, Let us all swear an oath, and all bind ourselves by mutual imprecations not to abandon this plan, but to do this thing. Then swear they all together and bound themselves by mutual upon it. And they were in all 200 who descended in the days of Jared on the summit of Mount Hermon. And they called it Mount Hermon, because they had sworn and bound themselves by mutual imprecations upon it. And these are the names of their leaders. It goes into many names of the fallen angels, many of them. And it says these are the chiefs of tens. That's why we see these UFOs around the earth in multiple places, Mexico, the United States, all over the world. They are the watchers, what was described in the Book of Enoch. This is why basically a lot of Christians deny the Book of Enoch, because it's the truth. They deny it. They're like, oh, this never happened. This never happened. The Nephilim was wiped out. Oh, the angels never rebelled against God. You're adding to the Bible and taking away from the Bible. You are not preaching the truth. This is why I say to people, escape the matrix, escape religion, and read the Bible for yourself, and you'll see that a lot of these teachers are false teachers. They don't actually preach the truth. And all the others together with them took unto themselves wives, and each chose for himself one, and they began to go in unto them, and defile themselves with them, and they taught them charms and enchantments and cutting of roots, and made them acquainted with plants, and they became pregnant, and they bare great giants, whose height was 300,000 ells, who consumed all the acquisitions of men. And when men could no longer sustain them, which we see, this is what I said yesterday. They've lied about history. They've lied about the Egyptian history. They've lied about it all. Giants existed with the Egyptians. This is what we see. This is how it confirms it. And the Egyptians knew this. This is why you had these. It's obvious the pyramids were not built by man. It's very obvious they were built by these. And that's why you have so many people as well. Why do you think so many atheists and so many stuff like that can connect? They keep saying the Anunnaki, the alien gods, stuff like that, because part of it's true, but that's not who created us. Those are the fallen angels that rebelled against God. They came down on earth, they impregnated women, then the women bear giants, and that's how we have giants to exist. I mean, you got to ask yourself, to the fake Christians out there, How did we get giants on the earth? If the Nephilim and the fallen angels never came down to the earth, how did they exist? You got to ask yourself this question. If the fallen angels never rebelled against God and they never impregnated women, how did giants get on the earth? God didn't create them. That's just a fact. So this is why I said you got to read the Bible, and all the lies will get exposed for what they are. The veil will be lifted from your eyes. You'll see the truth. As it says, the truth shall set you free. They don't, when you're reading these books, they labeled these books heresy, false doctrine, stuff like that. There's a reason why they did it, because the devil does not want you to know the truth. He doesn't want you to know about the true history and stuff like that, the history of the Egyptians. The Egyptians worked with the fallen angels. It's a fact. It's all in the monuments. It's all in the ancient Egyptian hieroglyphs and stuff like that, where they show these ancient. There's many images where they have these ancient technologies in the images and that they made. Also the stones where they perfectly cut the stones. They perfectly do the symbols in certain forms of stones and don't make a single mistake. It's literally impossible to do. It's impossible to do. And it's a fact. So, where was I? Longer sustain and it says they could no longer control them, because these giants realized how powerful they were, and then they started they started destroying people. That's what they did. They started, a lot of them were cannibals. We seen this. There's even a story that came out, man. A story where a Iraq soldier killed a giant. It was in a story. This is not a joke. It's real, but this is the problem with religion and the world. When truth comes out, when they find evidence of giant bones and stuff like that, they wanted to say it's not true, because it breaks their reality of what they've been taught. They can't admit they've been lied to, which is a pride issue. It's the truth. They lied about the Egyptians. The Egyptians worked with the fallen angels, and this proves it. And that's why we've got, again, we'll show the images while we're reading it. Because, again, you have the Egyptian giants. Egyptian giants. We see all bones have been found, these skulls that are twice the size of someone's head. It's not fake, it's actual facts, and this is what I mean. People they'll use science, like, what does science say? This is why it's just laughable with some people. They'll accept science when it says the true shape of the earth, but they'll deny science when it comes to skulls, bones, stuff like that. That's called being a hypocrite. They were giants in those days. I mean, just look at the images. Look at the tombs. Why did the tomb need to be this big? Because there was giants. These were the fallen angels. And the impregnated women, they started basically creating this satanic offspring. One of the main demons is the one that the Satanists worship today, the Baphomet. That was the main leader. His name's Azazel or something like that. Supposed to be one of the most powerful angels that leaded these angels to rebel. What is the image of that fallen angel? It has horns, like the Baphomet, and it has goat feet. Isn't that the Baphomet? That's where the Baphomet came from. So it's true. It honestly is true. That's who the Satanists, the Freemasons, the Illuminati worship. is that demon. Well, it's not a demon, it's a fallen angel. We'll get into how demons came into existence. So we see, this is facts, this is historical. But oh, people just say, oh, this is fake, this is fake, this is fake, this is fake, this ain't true, this is just made up. But when it comes to other forms of history, like they found stuff of the Bible, like Noah's Ark and stuff like that, you people say that's true, but when it comes to something else, you say it's fake. You can't pick and choose what's real and what isn't. See, there's a reason they made the tombs this large. They were giants in those times. And that's how the pyramids were truly built. That is a fact. That's the history. That is the fact. Historians, scholars, archaeologists even admit it. That building those pyramids in those times, unless they had advanced technology, was literally impossible. That's a fact. No human being could do it. It's impossible. Because everyone admits that the Egyptians back then didn't have the technology that we have today. So if that's the truth, how did they build the pyramids then? If they had no form of technology like we've got today, how did they build the pyramids? Make it make sense. They didn't build them. And it was not built by the Israelites either, because there's actual people saying that, which is laughable because no human being on the face of the earth could build a pyramid. It's literally impossible with the hands. They didn't have the things that we have today, like the machines that we have today where it can bulldoze a house and stuff like that. That didn't exist back then. So it was literally impossible. That's why people keep saying who really built the pyramids. The giants did. The fallen angels, Jack and the Beanstalk, stuff like that. You think they just made these stories up? They got it from the Bible. The giants existed. That what you see in Jack and the Beanstalk, that's how the giants were. That's how they were. They were cannibalistic. That's why God had to put a stop to it. But they survived, not through physical form. Some of them did, but then there was still corrupt bloodline existing. They turned into demons. Demons are a form of spirit. That's what they are. Everyone knows this. You can't see demons. They possess people. They're spirits. So the Nephilim was wiped out. They became demonic spirits. That's how we have, in the New Testament, where people were possessed by demons. How else did demons exist? How else did they get on the earth? See, demons have to have a physical body to exist on this earth. Hence why they have to possess people. When men could not longer sustain them, the giants turned against them and devoured mankind, and they began to sin against birds. So this was most likely sexual, and this was most likely because if you look up, we'll show you while I said reading this. And welcome to the stream. So these are Nephilim hybrids. This is what they did in the times of Enoch and the times of Noah. They started sinning against birds. They started sinning against beasts, and they started creating their own satanic bloodline. they honestly, and welcome to the stream. They started creating this satanic bloodline. That's how we got things like David and the Goliath, because Goliath was literally part of the Nephilim bloodline. This is how we get things like these. We have like a lot of scorpion, these hybrids, these hybrid animals. Now, obviously, the angels don't count. What you see here, they don't count. God made them. But I'm just making a point. They create this satanic offspring, which was this. That's why you see. That is why you see in these ancient Sumerian tablets these like humans with animal faces. What did it just say? They sinned against birds and beasts and reptiles and fish. They started creating this satanic offspring, as it showed. What is Azazel? We'll show that. Azazel is known as the Baphomet. We see. This is where the Baphomet derived from. It derived from this. This is the true demon. Well, the true fallen angel. What does it look like? Notice it has goat horns and it has goat-like creature feet. This is the true biblical Baphomet that existed. And people on the earth, like the Canaanites and stuff like that, that's why they were worshipping demons. That's what they were worshipping. All these so-called gods that you see in other religions are demons. That's what they are. Well, fallen angels, then they became demons. The demons are what you call the Nephilim fallen bloodline. A lot of the Nephilim were destroyed, and they became spirits. So they didn't have a body. Demons don't have a body. We all know this. No one can see a demon on the earth. No one. This is why it talks about in the Bible demonic possession. No one's ever going to see a demon because it's a spirit. It's a demonic spirit from the Nephilim bloodline. Hence why they fear the name Christ, because again they knew that they were wiped out. They need a body. Hence why it proves this. Demons need a host to survive. And it even says in Genesis that even after the flood, there was giants again, because they were spirits. The demonic spirits from basically these Nephilim satanic bloodline, because obviously the fallen angels still exist, they were chained up, but the satanic bloodline that they created, this is where people can't discern the difference. There's fallen angels, they still exist, they were chained up by God, because it even says that even in the book of Enoch. They were chained up. The fallen angel, basically Nephilim bloodline, the hybrids and stuff like that, the bloodline that they created. Some of them were destroyed. They became demons, but then it says in Genesis that they even existed again. They existed again. It says in the times of Noah and even after the times of Noah. It even says that we'll show you through, because this is biblical. People deny it. I've actually seen some Christians say that was there Nephilim after the flood. It'll even admit it. So it even admits it. This is a known thing. And yet somehow Christianity keeps preaching that there was no Nephilim, that they were all wiped out. Nowhere does that say it in the flood. Nowhere does it say it. All it said in the flood was Noah's family was the only righteous family on the earth, because it was. Now it's believed, don't know whether it's true, that there was a form of corrupt bloodline that continued to exist. We seen that not all the Nephilim were wiped out. Some of them survived. I mean, it's very obvious. If they didn't survive, there'd be no giants on the earth, would they? Goliath was like 9 foot tall. That's not normal. There's even people that are born with a disease. It's not a disease though. That's what they say it is. Where people never stop growing. They never stop growing. They'll grow up to like 10 feet. They just won't stop growing. That's called the Nephilim. There's even people that are born with 7 fingers. That's exactly how it describes the giants, the Nephilim. And yet somehow religion still wants to teach that they were all wiped out, which is not biblical. None of that is. It says right here, it says, yes, biblical accounts suggest Nephilim existed both before and after the flood, with Genesis mentioning them in those days and also afterward. So nowhere does it say in the scriptures that God wiped them out fully. Nowhere. That's just something that is made up. Because they want to believe that they were fully wiped out. Yet how we got demons then? Some of them were wiped out by the flood. Not all of them though. That's just common sense. Read the Bible. It teaches you that. So if God is telling you that they existed after the flood and before the flood, who's the liar here? Just go read the Bible for yourself. Mentioning them in those days and also afterward, meaning new giant-like figures like the Anakim, seems by spies in Numbers 13, appeared after the flood through renowned unions between sons of God and human women, despite the flood wiping out But this is what people don't understand. They were not all wiped out. Some of them survived. It's a fact. If they didn't survive, or you have to admit that someone had a corrupt bloodline. Someone had a corrupt bloodline on the earth. Because again, it says the sons of God came down. The sons of God, sorry to tell you people, is not the Israelites. And sorry to tell you, God does not have sons. It's the angels. It's just facts. Because you've honestly got people out there saying that it's the Israelites. Yeah, the sons of God created they created a unrighteous bloodline. Yet, wait a minute. Doesn't it say that the Israelites are righteous and pure? And didn't it say that Noah's bloodline was pure and stuff like that? So one, you're basically lying. You are lying. So, and we're not speaking about anyone's chart. If anyone's thinking that, I'm talking about stuff that I'm reading here. So we'll continue, and it goes into further detail of what they did: fish and to devour one another's flesh and drink the blood. They were This is why we say they were cannibals. A lot of the giants, the Nephilim, were cannibals. They were drinking blood. So in reality, where people keep saying like stuff like the royal family and stuff like that are reptilians. Not going to say for a fact, but they're probably part of the Nephilim bloodline. Would explain why they're so evil. I mean, we all know what they do. We know what they do in Hollywood. We know exactly what they do. Those are the true vampires that exist. That's where they get vampires from. That's where they get vampires from. With all these vampire TV shows, they got it from the Book of Enoch and the Bible. Vampires were basically the Nephilim and stuff like that, drinking blood. That's what they used to do. They were drinking blood, they were cannibals. So people like these serial killers that existed in the world, like Jeffrey Dahmer, I guarantee you that they were just straight up demons. Very obviously were demonically possessed. Very obvious. No, anyone that's born would, because that's what you got to understand as well. These Nephilim and stuff like that were demonic, absolute demonic offspring. They had no emotions. They couldn't care less. We see this. They went around doing whatever they wanted. They had no care in the world for anything. We see this. They didn't care. They sinned against birds. They sinned against man. Sinned against everything on the face of the earth. That's why God had to put a stop to it. He had to put. That's why the earth was flooded. It wasn't just because were people doing these certain sexual sins and stuff like that. No, it was far deeper than that. They would drink it. There was giants. There was Nephilim in the times of Noah. These hybrids. And again, that's where you get aliens. Aliens are demons. Demons need a body. So they took. We've gone into the Nephilim, what they created. They created these satanic hybrid offspring bloodline. We've just showed you not all of them were wiped out. Some of them were. The ones that were wiped out became demonic spirits because they needed a body. Every single person on the face of this earth has a spirit. You kill the body, there's a spirit still. So even the Nephilim had spirits. So yeah, and that's what we get today, demons. So what they teach in the Catholic Church and stuff like that, none of it's biblical. None of it is. Demons don't have physical bodies. They never have. It's the biggest load of nonsense that they said, and we've already proven at the beginning of the stream that fallen angels rebelled against God. We proved it with Revelation, where it says the devil and his angels shall be thrown in the lake of fire. So religion needs to stop saying that, that never happened. The angels did rebel. This is why they cut the Book of Enoch out the Bible, because it goes into great detail of what they were doing, and you just connect the Book of Enoch to things like Genesis and stuff like that, and you'll see it all makes sense. It doesn't make sense to these little demons and these false bastards because they can't grasp the concept. They've been taught by the Catholic Church and religion that all the Nephilim and stuff like that were wiped out, which none of that's biblical. It says they existed before the flood and after the flood. It even says that. It says the sons of God. The sons of God are not Israel. The sons of God are not the Israelites. It's talking about the fallen Nephilim bloodline. Because the fallen angels rebelled against God. A lot of them did. And Satan, that's Satan's name. Azazel. That's his name. That was his biblical name. It's not Lucifer. The devil is his title. Satan means adversary. It's not his name. It's just a title. That's his true name. his true name when he was, and it proves again that Satan was an angel. It says that in the Bible as well. Satan is an angel. Satan was an angel. And even Muslims know this as well. Even Muslims know this. It says it in the beginning of their book that Satan was an angel. He rebelled against God and didn't want to serve Adam. That's what they believe in Islam. So even they know that Satan was the highest angel. He was full of pride, rebelled against God, got the legions of angels to rebel against God. And then it goes in Azazel, and Azazel, see, this is the devil, taught men to make swords and knives and shields and breastplates, and made known to them the metals of the earth and the art of working them, and bracelets and ornaments, and the use of anatomy, and the beautifying of the eyelids. This is in chapter 8 of the first book of Enoch. This is chapter 8. That's what it says, chapter 8. I just want to make sure the audio is alright, so give me a second. Yes, it's alright. So, what do we see with I'm going to show you with the Egyptians. What do we see with the Egyptians? What do we see? It was always the eyes, wasn't it? What are the eyelids? We know what it is. It's exactly what's got the makeup on. So this proves again that the fallen angels, the devil himself, taught the Egyptians about makeup. I mean, where'd they get the makeup from? Where'd they get it from? This is how you know. This is why they've lied about history. That's why they want you to believe in science. That's why they want you to believe in the BS evolution nonsense. And that's why they ban these books from the Bible. That the Catholic Church did it. Like, oh, this is heresy, this is blasphemous, this is heresy. And if you actually read the book yourself, you'll see it's not heresy, it's the truth. The Eurythians, or however it's said, they knew it was the truth. They knew it was. They've got all the books in their version of the Bible. Don't believe anyone that says these certain books are not scripture. The devil, they're absolute lying devils. Because they don't want, it's all part of the mind control, they're all part of the agenda, the matrix. They don't want you seeking the truth. They don't want you to know the real history. They really don't. They don't want you to wake up to reality and seek the Creator. They want you to believe that the Egyptians came from gods, that there was some ancient civilization that were more advanced than anybody else in the face of the earth, and that the Anunnaki came down to the Egyptians and then they flew back to another planet. It's the most dumbest thing I've ever heard. The real truth is the fallen angels came down, Azazel, the devil himself, the leader, came down with 200 angels, slept with these women, impregnated them, made satanic bloodlines. That's how you got giants in Egypt. That's why they were building statues of, and it should just be common sense as well. There is a 5-ton coffin? Who moved it? You're telling me that the Egyptians were able to move a 5-ton brick? It's not possible. Impossible to do. And they perfectly aligned it underground. You know how impossible that is to do. Even the strongest humans can't do that. So yeah, wake up to reality, people. You've been lied to. This is why I say to people, escape the matrix and seek the truth for yourself. Don't follow religion. Follow the Bible and follow God. The sooner you escape religion and stop being a part of corruption and enslavement, because that's all religion is enslavement, to dumb you down, you're never going to wake up. You're never going to be born again. You're never going to be set free. As it says, Jesus says, come out of her, my people. Come out of her. Stop being a part of Babylon. Stop being a part of it. Why do you think America's so obsessed with the Egyptians? Because they know the truth. Because America's a bunch of devil worshippers. They serve the same entity, the fallen angel Satan, which Satan isn't his name. Lucifer's not his name either. It's Azazel. That's his true biblical name. And again, Satan means adversary. What is the fallen angels? They're adversaries. Again, the fallen angels did have bodies. We see that even the Bible teaches you that the sons of God. The sons of God are the angels. That's a fact. And they came down to earth and impregnated women. And that's how we got giants. That's how we got the Nephilim bloodline. And that's how the Egyptians were taught about makeup. Because the fallen angels taught them. As you can clearly see, the fallen angels taught them about this. Notice again, even in the ancient Egyptians, what did they have? Look, the serpent. The serpent bracelets. And what did it just say? This is how you know. They taught the metals of the earth and the art of working with them, and bracelets and ornaments, and the use of anatomy and the beautifying of eyelids and all kind of costly stones. We see the Egyptians, it's right in the jewelry. You think that these Egyptians, where'd they get the jewelry from? Oh, they just mined it in the middle of nowhere. Nonsense. They were taught by the angels. They were taught by the angels. That's what it was. They were taught by the angels, basically, how to get these things like gold, stuff like that. You can't tell me that humans just figured this out themselves. No. If you knew anything, Adam and Eve didn't even know that they were naked in the Garden of Eden. So yeah. And on all contentious, and there arose much godlessness, and they committed fornication, and they were led astray and became corrupt in all their ways. It says another angel taught enchantments. This is not the devil. It says S-E-M. I think it says Semjaza. Taught enchantments. And then you have another one that says Bara. Taught astrology. Then another fallen angel taught them about constellations. And then there's another demon, another fallen angel that taught them about the knowledge of the clouds. So it's not just one demon, one fallen angel that taught them about these things. It was over 200. They had knowledge. How do you think the angels know? The angels were created by God since the beginning of time. They were created before humans. We see that in the Garden of Eden. These angels were created before God. Basically, before they were created before Adam and Eve. And God was there in the beginning, obviously. The reason Satan rebelled, it even says it in Islam, is because, and I didn't mean what I said there, multiple jumbling words. Obviously, the angels weren't correct. Obviously, the angels were not created before God. God was always there, but God created them, all of them, and they rebelled. Now, they didn't rebel on their own. Satan is the leader, the Azazel. Satan's a liar, deceiver, manipulator, and stuff like that. So he persuaded them. He persuaded these 200 angels, right, we're going to make an oath for you now. And they even admitted they knew what the punishment was, but they didn't care anyway. They did it anyway. They rebelled. That proves again that there's many forms of angels. And if you knew anything, those cherubim, whatever, that you see, they're always near the throne of God. There's many forms of angels. It says it in the Bible. There's not just one, there's not just two, there's multiple. God didn't just create one form of angel. It says that many times through the Bible. And the highest one was the devil himself. Because why do you think it says in the Bible, for Satan himself manifestates himself as an angel of light? How can he manifestate himself as an angel of light if he wasn't an angel? It doesn't make any sense, because he was an angel. He portrays himself as a righteous angel because he's a fallen angel. He can persuade people that he's an angel when in reality he's the fallen one. And it's not what Satan's not going to come to you. That's the main thing that's promoted in religion and stuff like that. Satan is not going to come to you like, oh, looking like this ugly freak. No, that's not the way it works. He comes to you and will show you what your brain and mind desires. We've seen that Satan can manifesting is like a form of shapeshifter. So he can take any form. He took the form of the serpent in the Garden of Eden. He can take the form of a dragon. He can take the form of a Leviathan, which is like a sea monster. And he can take the form of a Baphomet. There's many forms of Satan. The one that religion is promoted is not biblical. Nowhere in the Bible does it say Satan is red and has a pitchfork. Nowhere. It's just a man-made thing. And became corrupt in all their ways. So again, these multiple angels, signs of the earth. Then this angel taught them about the signs of the earth. Another angel taught them about the signs of the sun. Then another angel the course of the moon. And as men perished, they cried, and their cry went up to heaven. So yeah, how do you think the Egyptians, I said this in a video, how do you think ancient civilization knew about things of the moon, the sun, the stars, the real shape of the earth? How would they know? How would they know back then? We know no one's been the moon, but those that believe in that, no one went to the moon around the Egyptian times. No one had that technology So how would they know the real shape of the earth? How would they know? They were taught by the fallen angels again. And then Michael, the holiest angels, it says that because there's over 70,000 angels in heaven. So we have Michael, that's if that's how you say it. You have Raphael and Gabriel looked down from heaven, and so much blood being shed upon the earth, and all lawlessness being wrought upon the earth. And they said one to another, the earth made without inhabitant cries the voice of their cryings up to the gates of heaven. And now to you, the holy ones of heaven, the souls of men make their suit, saying, bring our cause before the Most High God. See, you notice the Most High, why I say the Most High God. And they said to the Lord of the ages, Lord of lords, gods of gods, kings of kings, and the God of the ages, the throne of thy glory standeth unto all the generations of the ages, and thy name holy and glorious and blessed unto all the ages. Thou hast made all things, and power over all things hast thou, and all things are naked and open in thy eye, and thou seest all things, and nothing can hide itself from thee. Thou seest what Azazel have done, who have taught all unrighteousness on earth, and revealed the eternal secrets which were preserved in heaven, which men were striving to learn, and to whom thou hast given authority to bear rule. So we see Satan's the one that did it. The Luciferians know this. This is why Luciferians worship Satan. This is why they worship him. Because Satan taught humanity about everything on this earth. He's the one that did it. And it wasn't just Satan. It was many angels that rebelled against God. 200 of them. So they taught them things about heaven that man was not supposed to know. So this is why God is punishing the angels that rebelled, because this is what they done. This is exactly what they did. They done some of the most wicked stuff you could ever imagine. His associates, and they have gone to the daughters of men upon the earth, and have slept with the women. So it goes into another chapter confirming that they slept with them. These angels slept with them. Oops. And welcome to the stream. I don't know where that was, that bookmark now. I won't. I guess I won't know now. There was a bookmark that I had. Fell out. So I don't know what page that was in. Again. And they have gone to the daughters of men upon the earth, and have slept with the women, and have defiled themselves, and revealed to them all kinds of sins. And the women have borne giants, and the whole earth has thereby been filled with blood and unrighteousness. And now behold, the souls of those who have died are crying and making their suit to the gates of heaven, and their lamentations have ascended and cannot cease, because of the lawless deeds which are wrought on the earth. And thou knowest all things before they come to pass. And yet, what is it that religion says? None of this is biblical, they say. None of this book is it's heresy. Yet it confirms and admits that God knows everything. This is why I said, start believing you've been lied to by the Catholic Church. This book is the truth. It confirms and further proves the true shape of the earth, and confirms that NASA is a bunch of liars. Because a lot of these teachers, you should focus on your own salvation. A lot of these teachers today in the churches are liars and deceivers. The devils. They have led God's people astray. They've led God's people astray. And now, I'm just trying to find where I was now. And now seest these things, and now dost suffer them. And now does not say to us what we are to do to them in regard to thee. Then the Most High, the Holy and Great One, spake and sent Uriel to the son of Lamech, and said to him, Go to Noah and tell him, in my name, hide thyself and reveal to him the end that is approaching. So this confirms, this is why they banned the book. Because it explains, this is God saying, saying this angel, because again, this is how people get visions and stuff like that. It's an angel. We see this many times in the Old Testament with Isaiah. An angel appeared to Isaiah, told him and shown him visions and shown him the glory and the throne of God. Angels are messengers of God. Nowhere in the Bible does it say they don't have reproductive organs. Nowhere. So this is further confirming that God told this angel to tell Noah to prepare the ark because the world's going to be destroyed. This is what God's saying here. But this is not part of the Bible, guys. This is not part of the Bible because I follow the Roman Catholic version. I don't want to actually seek the truth. The whole earth, so it says the whole earth will be destroyed, and a deluge is about to come upon the whole earth, and will destroy all that is on it. And now instruct him that he may escape, and his seed be preserved. So that's what it was about. Why do you think God said only Noah was righteous on the earth? It was to do with a bloodline. Why would he mention a bloodline? People were just sinning. What's that got to do with bloodline? That's right. A lot of people's DNA and bloodline was infested with the Nephilim. That's what it was about. Noah's family was the only one that had pure blood and was not corrupt. They didn't partake in it. So that's why Noah was saved. It even said Noah was the only one that was righteous. And that's why God said, no, he even said to Noah, no. And Noah's like, come on, God, come on. If I can get people to turn to the ark. And he's like, no. And it wasn't just Nephilim. It was normal people, Nephilim. So there was thousands of reasons why God flooded the earth. One, it was to do with the Nephilim. Because they were out of control. If God didn't flood the earth, these Nephilim giants would have been running the entire earth. And would have been destroying man like they were doing in the times of Noah. But they didn't start existing. Some of them still exist, like I said, but not a lot. Some of the Nephilim bloodline continued, but it was very limited. And a lot of the Nephilim became demonic spirits. What we see today, demons. Because it's just facts. It's just common sense. When everyone dies, the spirit goes up to God. The demonic spirits don't. These demonic spirits wanted a body. And it even says it wasn't long before they came back on the earth, because it wasn't. We see that in David and Goliath. And it's not fairy tales either. And a deluge is about to come upon the whole earth and will destroy all that is on it. And now instruct him that he may escape, and his seed be preserved for all the generations of the world. And again, the Lord said to Raphael, bind Azazel hand and foot, and cast him into the darkness, and make an opening in the desert, which is in Dujal, or however that's pronounced, and cast him therein, and place upon him rough and jagged rocks, and cover him with darkness, and let him abide there forever, and cover his face, that he may not see light. And on the day of the great judgment, he shall be cast into the fire. That's the devil. That's the devil himself. And it further confirms it, that he shall be released. He's chained up, right? It confirms it. Satan was chained up. Then he got released. And he deceives the earth for a certain amount of time. And then he's thrown in the lake of fire. It even says that here. That he'll be shall be cast into the fire with the other angels, and heal the earth which the angels have corrupted, and proclaim the healing of the earth, that they may heal the plague, and that all the children of men may not perish, through all the secret things that the watchers have disclosed, and have taught their sons. So it shows they had sons. They slept with women. They had multiple bloodlines. Whole earth had been corrupted through the works that were taught by Azazel. To him ascribe. To him ascribe. And even this word, you have Christians saying this is a curse word. It isn't. Azazel, to him ascribe all sin. And to Gabriel said the Lord, proceed against the bastards and the reprobates. Now again, the word bastard means no father. So it further confirms that that's what the sons of God means. The sons of God are the angels. God calls them a bastard because that word means no father. You ain't got a father. That's what it means. So that's why they were called that. They were called that, and notice how it says the word reprobate. That's what a reprobate is. No conviction for God, no desire for God, just doing whatever you want, whenever you want. Reprobates, and against the children of fornication, and destroy the children of fornication, and the children of the watchers from among us men, and cause them to go forth, send them one against the other, that they may destroy each other in the battle. For length of days shall they not have, and no request that they, i.e. their fathers, make of thee shall be granted unto their fathers on their behalf. For they hope to live an eternal life, and that each one of them will live 500 years. And the Lord said unto Michael, go, bind. So another angel's bound, and his associates, who have united themselves with women, so as to have defiled themselves with them in all their uncleanness. And when their sons have slain one another, and they have seen the destruction of their beloved ones, bind them fast for 70 generations in the valleys of the earth, till the day of their judgment, and of their consummation till the judgment that is forever and ever is consummated. In those days they shall be led off to the abyss of fire, and to the torment, and the prison, and the condemned, and destroyed, will from thenceforth be bound together with them to the end of all generations, and destroy all, because they have wronged mankind, destroy all wrong from the face of the earth, and let every evil work come to an end, and let the plan of righteousness and truth appear, and it shall prove a blessing. The works of the righteous and the truth shall be planted, truth and joy forevermore. And then shall all the righteous escape, and shall live till they beget thousands of children, and all the days of their youth, the their youth, and their old age shall they complete in peace. And then shall the whole earth be tilled in righteousness, and shall all be planted with trees, and be full of blessing, and all desirable trees shall be planted on it, and they shall plant vines on it, and the vine which the plant thereof shall yield wine in abundance. Again, isn't that what they're used for today? So there's trees on the earth, isn't there? There's trees on the earth that people can eat. Those are the ones that God is talking about. There's trees that grow fruit. And as for the seed, for all the seed which is sown therein, each measure of it shall bear 1,000. And each measure of olives shall yield 10 presses of oil, and cleanse thou the earth from all oppression, and from all unrighteousness, and from all sin, and from all godliness, and from all uncleanness that is wrought upon the earth. Destroy from off the earth, and all the children of men shall become righteous, and all nations shall offer adoration, and shall praise me, and all shall worship me, and the earth shall be cleansed from all defilement, and from all sin, and from all punishment, and from all torment. Now this is talking about after Judgment Day. That's what this is talking about. When God creates the new earth, when he creates the new earth, all sin's gone. So this is not talking about the earth that we're on now. It's not talking about that earth, because there's still sin. There's still unrighteousness. There's still wickedness. This is talking about the new earth that's going to be created along with the new Jerusalem, the new heaven that comes down from the sky. That's what it's talking about. Because there's no wickedness when that kingdom comes. And that's a fact. So this is just a fact, man. Let's put that there. So it's just facts. It really is. But again, this is what I said. People just don't want to listen. You can just go read the book of Enoch. It says what's going to happen to. It says what's going to happen to Azazel, and what's going to happen to the fallen angels. It goes into it. I've read a lot of this book. This is the real truth. Again, more of the fallen angels. This is how I'm going to prove to you, this is how we got demons today. Watchers. In their beginning and primal origin, they shall be evil spirits on earth, and evil spirits shall they be called. As for the spirits of heaven, in heaven shall be their dwelling. But as for the spirits of the earth, which were born upon the earth, on the earth shall be their dwelling. And the spirits of the giants afflict, oppress, destroy, attack, do battle, and work destruction on on the earth and cause trouble. They take no food, but nevertheless hunger and thirst and cause offences. And these spirits shall rise up against the children of men and against women, because they have proceeded from them. So again, as it says, and I believe there's even a scripture in the Bible where it says only those that are from above can go to heaven. That's why Jesus says you have to be born again. So this satanic bloodline makes you wonder. We know who they are. What you got to ask yourself? Why do we know what they do with the rituals and stuff like that? The blood. Why do you think these people drink blood? They're not human. This is why people keep saying reptilians, stuff like that. They're not reptilians, people. They are part of the Nephilim bloodline. They are demonic. They're evil. They are part of the satanic, demonic bloodline. That's why they desire these things. Because they're evil. It even calls them demonic spirits. Because they are the demons. They're literal demons in skin. Why do you think half of these people are so evil? They've committed some of the most evil things ever imaginable. The stuff that's in... We know what's in the Epstein files. We know exactly. They're not human. They really ain't. They're evil. They're pure evil. And it exposes that. These people come from the bloodline of the Nephilim. That's a fact. Hence why they're so evil. And this is exactly what they do, the people that are in power. They oppress the poor. They oppress people. They oppress they oppress everyone. They do battle. They do destruction. Isn't this exactly what these people do on the face of the earth? They oppress. They destroy. They don't really hunger or thirst. That's why you see with the many people making these videos like reptilians, shape-shifting, they're not lizards. It's far from the truth. You're far from the truth. You fell for the deception of the devil. Why do you think Jesus said that our battle is spiritual? Because we're battling against demons on the earth. These satanic people. They have no desire for God at all. No desire whatsoever. From the days of the slaughter and destruction and death of the giants, from the souls of whose flesh the spirits having gone forth, shall destroy without incurring judgment. Thus shall they destroy until the day of consummation, the great judgment. Again, what does it say the devil comes to do? Seek and destroy. So most likely when Jesus was saying, you are of your father the devil, most likely literally meant that. Probably did. Probably literally meant that. Because there is a satanic, demonic bloodline on this earth. And that's a fact. Giants from the sort, so it explains what happened to the giants. They got wiped out. Most of them got wiped out. They became demonic spirits. And they possess bodies. That's most likely why they create these clones. They create these clones because a demon has to have a body to survive. So most likely they create these clones and they demonically possess these bodies. And then when they fully take over, it's now their possession. That person no longer exists. That personality's gone. We've seen that in movies. We've seen it happen. Where these demons, when they fully take over, the other person no longer exists. They fully take over your body. So a lot of these people are demonically possessed. Death of the giants. The great judgment in which the age shall be consumed over the watchers, and the godless, shall be wholly consumed. And now as to the watchers who have sent thee to into for them, who had been aforetime in heaven, say to them, you have been in heaven, but all the mysteries had not yet been revealed to you, and you knew worthless ones, and these in the hardness of your hearts you have made known to the women, and through these mysteries women and men work much evil on earth. Say to them thenceforth you have no peace. So this is what he's saying to the angels. You're never going to have peace, and your descendants are not going to have peace. And they took and brought me to a place in which those who were there were like flaming fire. And when they wished, so this is most likely talking about hell. And when they wished, they appeared as men. And they brought me to the place of darkness, and to a mountain the point of whose summit reached to heaven. And I saw the places of the luminaries, and the treasures of the stars, and of the thunder, and in the uttermost depths, where were a fiery bow, and arrows, and their quiver, and a fiery sword, and all the lightnings. And they took me to the living waters, and to the fire of the west, which receives every setting of the sun. And I came to a river of fire, in which the fire flows like water, and discharges itself into the great sea, towards the west. I saw the great rivers, and came to the great river, and to the great darkness, and went to the place where no flesh walks. I saw the mountains of the darkness of winter, and the place where is in all the waters. So you see, this is why they banned it, because it says exactly how the earth works. It says about the stars, the moons, the galaxies, and then this is the punishment for the angels. And proceed to where things were chaotic, and I saw there something horrible. I saw neither a heaven above nor a firmly rounded earth, but a place chaotic and horrible. And there I saw 7 stars of the heaven bound together in it like great mountains, and burning with fire. Then I said, for what sin are they bound, and on what account have they been cast in hither? Then said one of the holy angels who was with me, and was chief over them, and said, Enoch, why dost thou ask, and why art thou eager for the truth? These are the number of the stars of heaven, which have transgressed the commandment of the Lord. Their sins are consummated, and from thence I went to another place, which was still more horrible than the former. And I saw a horrible thing, a great fire there, which burnt and blazed, and the place was cleft as far as the abyss, being full of great descending columns of fire. Neither its extent of magnitude could I see, nor could I conjecture. Then I said, how fearful is I think it says the Lord, I've got a sticker over it. Terrible to look upon them. So you get the point. These fallen angels, man, that's their fate. That is their fate. They've rebelled against God, and that's their fate. They've rebelled against God. So all this is truth. All of it is. They've lied to you. They've lied about history. for so long, they don't want you to seek the truth. This is the truth about the Egyptians. This is the truth about what really happened on the earth during and before the flood. So yeah, seek the truth. If you don't want to believe it, that's you. I'm just here to provide the evidence. How long have I been doing it? So I'll end it here, and I might do another video like this. So that's who Satan is. That's who Satan really is, Azazel. Have you ever wondered why in Hollywood they never ever mention this specific demon? I have yet to see there might be one out there, but I have yet to see a movie called The Devil Azazel, because it is Satan. He's the chief of all the angels, and this satanic bloodline, and so we know what they do with the. I can't mention it, but it begins with a day, and it ends with Chrome. We know what they do. It was exposed. Why do you think they do that? The Book of Enoch just exposed why they did it. They're not human, they're demonic, they're evil, they're demonic spirits. They're just literal demons walking on earth. And they are part of the Nephilim bloodline, the fallen angels. Because yes, despite what other religions teach, the fallen angels created a satanic offspring on this earth, and that's why they were punished. Because if you honestly really think that the angels just got punished just for what did they really do then? If no one in religion wants to believe this, then what did the angels actually do then? What did they do? They rebelled against God, and they obviously did stuff. For them to be thrown in the lake of fire along with Satan, they've done something really bad. So that shows there's no forgiveness for these fallen angels. There's none. Not at all. There's no forgiveness. And all the Nephilim bloodline seeks to do is destroy. Chaos. We know exactly who's bringing in the New World Order. These are part of that. And it's just facts. And when you read the Book of Enoch and the Bible, it makes perfect sense. It makes sense, the true world. Why they've lied, why they've covered up, why they lie about the shape of the earth and stuff like that. It makes perfect sense. Yes, it did say circle, but circle does not mean a ball. It can mean anything. And even if the earth is a ball, still doesn't disprove God. Still doesn't disprove God at all. That's what they want you to think. Even if the earth is a ball, God still exists. That's just facts. So yeah, I just wanted to make this video because there's many books that I've got. I've got the Book of Joshua. Most Christians probably haven't even heard of that one. I've got the Book of Joshua, the Book of Enoch, the Bible itself, the Apocrypha, and I've also got the book of I think it's the Book of Genesis. Moses talks about Moses in the Book of Genesis. That's what I own, because I actually care about the truth and I'm actually a spiritual person. So you should only care about your own salvation. Seek the truth yourself. See if I'm making this up. It's very easy to get the Book of Enoch, honestly, as I've had it for years. So yeah, appreciate anyone that came to the stream. Let this truth get out, because no one can deny it. The truth will get out. Well, people can't say on Judgment Day that they didn't hear the truth. So appreciate anyone that came to the stream. Take care. I'll see you later.